For a while now, artificial intelligence has been subtly developing in the background. The rapid advancement of these technologies and the rate at which the regulations governing them, such as AI, change, seem to many to be at odds with one another. Our legal systems are riddled with outdated legislation, and politicians and bureaucrats often demonstrate a ridiculous ignorance of modern technologies. Join us today as we tell you about if the state laws are able to keep up with the pace at which AI is evolving. Artificial intelligence is present when Google auto-completes search queries or when Amazon suggests books. However, the introduction of ChatGPT-3 in November 2022 brought artificial intelligence out of the shadows and transformed it from a tool for software engineers to a tool that the general public could utilize without the need for technical knowledge. Instead of needing to write the code themselves, customers may ask an iBot to build software in a chat with ChatGPT. Thanks to Moore's Law and a number of other phenomena, technology has advanced across numerous industries at an exponential rate. In particular, AI capabilities have been expanding at an astounding rate. It feels like we are making new discoveries every year that were unthinkable 10 years ago. In the past year, 3 new machine learning models have been developed: GPT-3, AlphaFold, and DALL-E. This has been happening while the top machine learning model has been growing tenfold annually for the past 10 years. All of a sudden, AI was racing. Microsoft integrated ChatGPT into its products, including a redesigned, AI-powered Bing, following a $13 billion investment in OpenAI. Google quickly reacted with Bard, its own AI chatbot, after making waves in 2016 when its DeepMind AI model defeated a human champion in the Chinese game of Go. Our single largest investment is in advancing AI and building it into every one of our products. CEO of Meta, Mark Zuckerberg, said to staff members, "Thanks to open source code being readily available, several smaller businesses have also entered the AI fray." The rate at which language itself evolves will need to be accelerated if we are to succeed in drafting laws that are more easily read in light of linguistic development. Josh believes that encouraging the formation of more interdisciplinary policy and regulatory teams will be crucial in addressing this challenging issue. This approach would welcome the participation of techies, social scientists, and other unconventional players and promote collaboration. More interpretive latitude in the law might aid regulators in keeping up with technological advancements, but there is a price for that. The meaning of words changes over time to reflect the views of the dominant social order, and the standards of our day are inscribed in the way we perceive and use language. More interpretive latitude in the law might aid regulators in keeping up with technological advancements, but there is a price for that. The meaning of words changes over time to reflect the views of the dominant social order, and the standards of our day are inscribed in the way we perceive and use language. Therefore, any issues with our social norms will be mirrored in the language we use and will ultimately result in issues with the law if we intentionally try to let language shape how we understand the law. Here, there must be a careful balance struck between giving laws the flexibility to keep up with technology advancements and the societal flexibility to prevent them from being unfair to groups that could eventually lose favor. The application of generative AI has skyrocketed since the introduction of OpenAI's ChatGPT, a generative AI chatbot based on a self-improving large language model neural network, or LLM. In November 2022, Statista data shows that ChatGPT surpassed prior internet product launches like Facebook, Spotify, and Netflix by gaining 1 million members in just 5 days. The popularity of LLMs that produce unique pictures based on user input, such as Midjourney and DALL-E, has also skyrocketed, producing millions of photos daily, 6 times more parameters than GPT-3, or 1 trillion as of spring 2023, are reportedly present in GPT-4. This involved extracting a significant portion of text, audio, and video content posted by users of internet services. Today's well-known issues are the result of platform corporations like Alphabet, Google, Meta, or Facebook Microsoft, and others being permitted to pursue privacy-invading practices. These unchecked practices now serve as the foundation for more privacy invasions, such as AI-enabled audio and video surveillance of every one of us, as those same corporations expand into the AI space. In a policy statement, the Copyright Office reaffirms its strong support for the restriction of copyright protection to human authorship. The policy recognizes the role that technology can play in the creative process, but it questions how much creative control humans actually have over the conventional components of authorship. The guideline states unequivocally that applicants must notify the reviewer of any AI-generated content in a work that is submitted for registration and give a brief justification of any human involvement. Applications that were previously submitted and did not mention AI that exceeds de minimis must be rectified. A second registration needs to be filed if a certificate was issued despite the applicant failing to reveal AI. The questions of who is deemed the inventor of content created by generative AI models and how methods, systems, or media that use generative AI approaches can be claimed are brought up by generative AI. In 2022, the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Federal Circuit ruled in Taylor v. Vittle that inventors must be natural persons or humans in order to be eligible to use the Patent Act. In terms of claiming tactics, it's crucial to understand that, although being a relatively new technology, generative AI is still an algorithm for which the broad methods are currently well understood. Therefore, even though the idea behind generative AI algorithms is not new, there might be creative ways to incorporate or apply them that lead to patentable applications. If granted, AI patents may also have problems with detectability, such as the inability to determine whether an infringer is indeed utilizing AI in the same manner as stated. As a result, statements about generative AI can be written with the identification of stated features in mind. A generative AI system's infringing features, for instance, may be found by keeping an eye on the model's inputs and outputs and comparing how closely the observed inputs and outputs resemble those of a purported generative AI system. Since they are more visible and traceable than back-end operations, aspects of generative AI systems that engage with users or other systems may be relatively easier to identify. Repetition of the error committed when firms were given the freedom to set their own regulations for internet platforms would occur if they were allowed to take on the role of quasi-governments and regulate AI. The velocity difficulty requires agility and focus to overcome. Focus that, as opposed to adding AI after the fact to already existing authority, puts AI at the forefront of an agency's mandate. Agility that enables the agency to stay up to date with technology by releasing it from the antiquated methods of regulatory micromanagement. Do not hesitate to leave your thoughts in our comment section below, and do leave us a like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more such content.